Hello, and welcome to the podcast where everyone's a celebrity. The Everyone's a Celebrity podcast. Thank you for listening.
That kindness you spread through a deed and the way you handled it made a change in the world somehow.
Right.
I don't.
Maybe we can get one of those together one day.
50 smiles or someone's gonna die. Me and my bandmates start doing like Spinal Tap, like, where's the fucking stage, you know? And I don't gaslight the shit out of them.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining. This is Everyone's a Celebrity, the podcast show where everyone's a celebrity. Today's guest is Tommy Shields, a fraud detection analyst, professional drummer, and an amazing voice actor. Tommy was nice enough to invite my wife and I to his home for coffee and a smoke, and I knew I had to get an interview with this A-lister. We talk about work life and so much more, and Tommy even sings us a little song. Spoiler alert, it's not appropriate. But what is appropriate is a great intro for Mr. Tommy Shields. Alright, so we got Mr.
Tommy Shields.
Mr. Tommy Shields, and today we're just going to be catching up a little bit. For those of you, Tommy, why don't you actually go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit here?
Well, I'm Tommy Shields. I work, I don't know if I want to talk about my work as an intro, because my work is not super fascinating.
Oh, no, unless you have to have some sort of discretion about it, like, please go into it, because I think that's really interesting, honestly.
I mean, I have to have a little bit, you know, it's like, but I'm a fraud analyst for I'm going to say a major bank, and it's kind of a cool gig. I think it's not going to be replaced by AI anytime soon. There's still too much human feel to it. You get to see how criminals work.
Yeah.
You know, you get to try to outsmart them, and you get to be the hammer instead of the nail, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like, we were the nail doing sales and customer service. We were like abused on the phone all the fucking time. And is the cursing okay?
Oh yeah, you're good.
All right,
you're
good. All right, but this is like, don't like your account, then you write them and they start getting rude with you and they don't ask you your questions, and I'm like, red flag.
Fucking hammer. Okay.
It's like, it's like, and there's minimal interaction with customers. It's all via web-based ticketing system. So no emails, I don't give my real name. I have no phone. So it's really me just investigating fraud and risk, and it's not a bad gig, man.
Yeah.
And I hope to get paid more. But
Wouldn't we all?
Who doesn't, right? So,
do you have any really like interesting stories from some like crazy frauds that you prevented?
yeah. One was fun. I look up the business description and it says recovery house for those who have been injured, like people who've had surgery and things like that. I'm like, okay. So I'm looking up the business, looking it up, and I find their website, and I click on it, and it's some cartoon-drawn, scantily clad big booty girls. Like the kind of girls you would like in your house at night, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, what kind of recovery house is this? Because I think I would. I mean, if those girls were real, that'd probably help me recover. But I don't think it was medical in nature, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I had to shut that one down because I'm like, no, we can't support brothels.
Yeah. So that's what it was like. It was just like a front for like his brothel business, but he made cartoon versions of girls, or like
it was just like the website, like book an appointment for your recovery. And it had the girls there, and it's like they were friendly and scantily clad. And
so is this people that are you're essentially stopping them from getting like loans, or is it more
basically preventing them from processing credit card transactions through our platform.
Oh, okay.
So we don't shut their business down in any way. We just shut down their account with us.
Right.
So it's like if we're knowingly take prostitution payments, man, and somebody finds out about it, and then imagine somebody says, "Man, I wasn't satisfied. I'm going to charge that back."
Charging back to the bank.
It's like when we start to have to investigate that stuff,
It's like this was not at all like the cartoon that I saw on your website.
Yeah, these girls didn't look nearly as good as those cartoons.
2 dimensions or nothing.
Yeah, I need my girls 3-dimensional.
Well, okay. And then I remember before we were talking, did you used to be in a band, or were you?
Dude, I was a professional musician in a sense. Like I did. I wasn't the pro who did it for 5 years, but I was able to make a living for like 1 year just as a musician.
Yeah, that's that in itself is really awesome. Like
it was cool, man. We had I had a roommate at the time, so extra
what
money
kind of
that
music?
It was like cover band music.
Oh, okay.
Like
That's right,
yeah, and then I would play some original stuff. I played. My dad suggested I try to get in any band that would hire me, so like I've done country bands, I've done alternative rock, funk, hip hop stuff. Where I made my money was in the cover band stuff,
weddings and events and stuff like that.
Weddings, frat parties, one of my favorite moments that was really not fun, but it was so absurd I had to laugh at it. we went to a frat party in Arkansas somewhere. Don't remember quite where, but we get in there. We're getting close to where we think we're supposed to be, and there's not a lot of houses or anything. It's like a campground, and I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here? Where are we going to play? And it's in the middle of summer. It's hot, Arkansas is hot and humid. And, we get in there and it's like me and my bandmates start doing like Spinal Tap, like, where's the fucking stage, and it was like a Spinal Tap moment, dude. It turned out they had a wooden trailer with wheels on it. That was our stage.
Oh, snap.
And we're playing and we have like industrial lights behind us, like outdoor
awesome.
Lights.
Yeah.
And like, and I'm jamming, and have my shirt off, and this big frickin' locust lands on my shoulder,
God.
I'm just like, all right, it's not biting me, It's like, and we killed that show, man. I mean, I took it like, to me, I kind of have this thing in me to where when things get difficult, I get better, so. It's like I take the distractions and try to use them to try to focus more,
okay.
And so that gig went really well as far as the audience loving it,
How do you like actually transform that? Like, what kind of distractions were you having that you?
The heat, the sweating, the bugs, because they had the lights right behind us, so they're like flying all around, you know what I mean?
Hitting you in the ear and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm, at the back of the stage, the quotes stage, and there's lights back there, or like either they were on the stage or they were right behind the stage. So I was probably getting swarmed with the bugs the most, And
it's probably hot, I would imagine too, with the lights and that. Like
and it's just like it's, the stage is rocking. You know what I mean? It's like I prefer to play on solid ground.
Makes sense,
it's like, and it's like, what am I gonna fucking do? All I can do is just,
So you just kind of like you were just like, all right, well, like, let's hop into all this, like. Yeah.
Completely in the moment, I guess. I guess it's like you're trying to get, you're just trying to put on a good show. And then just, I don't know, it's just something about me that's, I've noticed in my character. That's like when shit gets crazy, I get more focused.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you remember Frontier, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy noises.
Talk about freaking... yeah.
Like they'd have those crazy parties with everybody screaming for sales, and you'd be like, so let me tell you about this internet plan.
You're like, fuck. Yeah, freaking... and it wasn't even just managers. It was like, of course it's not everybody would be super hype on it, but pretty much everybody would do like a clacker or a whistle or just something. The whole floor would just erupt. And then, of course, people would start talking. So imagine, you're on the phone with somebody in the middle of a conversation trying to sell them internet, or even worse, trying to like help them with a difficult problem, and they're pissed off at you, and then you just hear... You have to explain that to them, and then keep trying. It's
Yeah, I know. They'll like you try. I just would try to be like, I don't think you're hearing anything.
Like, sorry.
Try to Jedi mind trick them and shit. I don't hear anything. I don't gaslight the shit out of them.
You're crazy. What? You know what it is? It's probably your internet. We need to boost that up. See, that's what's going on. Yeah.
Genius. There you go. That's
dude. It was crazy. Like they really did kind of like encourage like scummy behavior. I feel like they never wanted to say it. They would never admit it.
No.
But it was so much like turning the blind eye to like so much unethical selling. Like,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, what really got me the most, and this is just, it sounds like a stupid little thing, but this one dude asked me if I'd use their product, like their antivirus. I was like, that was my thing, selling antivirus. I somehow just knew how to do it. I don't know why antivirus would make up my bonuses, but he goes, do you use it?
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. And I was like,
I can't do it.
I'm a piece of shit. It's like because I like this guy.
Yeah.
I was like, he was cool, It's like, so do you use it? And I was like, yes, I do.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah, sure.
Sure I do. Yeah.
Just look at the lake, bud.
It's the best product out there.
Yeah, no, that definitely. I'm glad you have something where you're actually like protecting people, and you have a better feeling at the end of the day, I'm sure.
I'm glad you brought that up, man. It's totally true. Like, it's like I get kind of like pleasure out of doing what I do, like just at a bunch of levels. It's a grind. I'm not going to say it's like a dream job. I just want to be honest,
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I'm like, God, I wish I could go fucking home. You know what I mean? It's like anybody, but for having to do a corporate grind, then it's better than anything I've ever done.
Yeah.
So
that's good, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank you, dude. Because it's took a long time for me to find something. It really did.
Yeah.
Like some people have that gift of just knowing when they're 20 years old. Like they're not always right, but like I'd rather have done it my way than be one of those people. It's like, I'm going to be a lawyer and a doctor, and then they do it and they hate their lives, and then they're stuck in it because it's making them rich. And
then it's like you almost don't really know what else to do after a certain amount of time. Like it's not like you couldn't learn, but it's almost you're so I went to school for this, I should do this, for so long. Yeah, you can get kind of stuck in it.
Well, that thing about it's mocked when people say they're finding themselves.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, knowing yourself is a huge thing, and knowing where your strengths are and what's going to give you like at least some pleasure while you make your living is huge.
Yeah.
And it's like, to actually figure that out could take, it depends on the person, man. Some people, like I've known dudes from UNT who, it's like, hey, he was obviously born to be a drummer.
Right.
He's a huge star now. If you look him up, his name's Keith Carlock. He plays with he played with Steely Dan and Sting. So
Okay, yeah, it sounds familiar.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like, okay. I mean, sure, he definitely worked his ass off, but it seemed like he knew his path, from a young age. And though I played drums, that I just realized that I kind of like having a job, dude.
Yeah.
It's like stable.
Yeah.
Stable. I get my money on a regular basis. I can budget, and it's like even her with the voice acting. It's like I know you're an entrepreneur, so don't take offense to this, but I think being an entrepreneur is overrated in this country in some ways.
It's
a lot of
agree,
fucking work.
Dude. Yeah, and it's a lot of work, and it's not guaranteed stuff, and it's like, I think you're right. It's really overrated, and it's only not overrated if you're really passionate about what you're selling. And it's like, I totally agree with you though, for sure. Especially even, I almost want to say a few years ago, it was really hyped, like almost right before Corona and like right during. But maybe that was just because that was when I was doing it and I was more in the sphere, and so that's all I was hearing is just Gary,
I remember that,
like, entrepreneur, Gary V, all this stuff. That's all I was like consuming every day, and that, God, man, my mind was a wreck at that time because that's all you're thinking about all the time is just trying to make sale, and it's easier when you're at a job and you can just shut it off and like, fuck it, I'm done for the day. That's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think
even in sales, that's hard too.
There's a certain kind of person who's just loves to be extroverted. I don't know. I mean, I have fun being. I don't like those labels, by the way, introvert, extrovert.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I can charm the whole fucking room. Other times I'm like, I don't want to say anything to anybody.
Yeah.
It's just nothing personal.
No.
It's just where I'm at the time, you know.
Exactly.
And it's like I don't like saying that I'm one way or the other because it's a limiting.
Yeah.
It's one of my teachers, is big on vows and limiting statements and things you say to yourself, So it goes in line a little bit with that law of attraction stuff, and like a lot of that is corny and wacky. So I can understand why people, piss on it or whatever, but. Still, if you say, I'm an extrovert or I'm an introvert, you're like kind of dooming yourself, to that. Where if you say, I think I'm a little bit more introverted in nature. I mean, I kind of enjoy like peace and quiet, and I live alone. You know what I mean? But when I go out, it's like, hey, just so why go out? You know what I mean? If you ain't gonna like, so. Anywho, I think we got off the subject, but
no, I mean, that's. I think you're right though, like, because I always was thinking the same stuff about myself, and once I found out there was ambivert and stuff, like that's why I just started calling myself, because I think it's impossible, or I think there's something very unhealthy if you're constantly just like always out, always social. Never wanting, stuff like that. And I know I have trouble with that sometimes, but even then, like, I have my moods for days when I'm just like, I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to deal with this. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Or I got to get prepared to socialize or something. Especially now, I notice as I'm getting older. Like, when I was a kid, I could just drop of a hat, go to a party, go to a thing, go to this or that.
Yeah.
But now it's so much harder. I got to be, like, getting a little bit prepared, and, I gotta like hype myself up because I just enjoy being at home too much now. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's hard for shit to go wrong when you're out of the house.
Well, it's that is true, man. That is true. But it's like I was just talking about this with somebody yesterday, like chasing thrills.
Yeah.
Like 'cause sometimes, all right, this is not Daredevil at all per se.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of times I'd go out and smoke a little bit of weed, so it'd make me anxious.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, again, use that to I'll use that to make me more extroverted, And it's just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do or say, but we'll find out, It's like, a few beers too, and
Is that like exposure therapy for you in a way, or what do you? How do you mean?
You know, I'm an experiential learner. I like to learn my limits through doing experiences rather than reading a book or you know, whatever different ways people learn. You know, I like to go out there, experience it, like I might be thinking of a way to how to approach something socially, and then you go out and
Just
you
give it
know,
a try.
it's like
I remember that
floating in the
about
ocean
you
in a
when we
way.
were, in training. I remember that about you. Like that definitely seems like your vibe. The way you like to experience things or go about learning. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you can stick me in that class all day, but
Yeah.
that's I learned to sell on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know, you pick up little bits. I remember my ex-girlfriend's dad was a salesman, a car salesman, and a good one.
Oh.
You know, so, but what struck me about him is he was really kind of quiet and sort of introverted a little bit. But he would talk if you talked to him, you know. And he was saying, you know, to be a salesperson, you got to have an open personality. And I was like, interesting. So, you know, being in sales is also, you know, learning social skills. You know, you learn how to talk to people.
Yeah.
And then you talk to all kinds of different people. You never know who you're going to talk to, you know?
Yeah.
And then you just got to apply that to face to face. You know what I mean? So, if at least that's my theory on, you know, upping my social skills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it's I won't know how I'm going to handle shit until I go out there and handle it. You know what I mean? It's you don't know. So, it's
what kind of stuff do you have anything that comes to mind when you're thinking about something where you had to actually kind of take that leap of faith for something new, or
yeah, man, this is going to sound a little out there, but confrontation.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to get along with people. I'd rather, you know, hey, how you doing? We have a good time.
Right.
But there's, you know, usually some dickhead out there,
Yeah.
male or female, right? And what was it about? It was last Christmas, about 2 days before Christmas. You know, everybody got the Christmas spirit. Me and some of my best friends are hanging out at this bar. It was a karaoke gig. You know, I was just having fun. And my buddy's a big weed smoker, and so he keeps this little metal, you know, contained pipe, and he'll go have a rip outside every now and then.
Yeah.
And so he goes out there, has a rip. This redhead lady is out there at the same time, and she starts talking shit about him doing it. You know, she's just it's you know, I'm allergic to that stuff. Thanks for the hives. You know, that's she said real quick, you know, she was talking shit.
Can people be allergic to weed like that?
I've never heard of it, but
Sarah, look that up.
it's possible. I'm not going to throw it off the table, but I didn't see her breaking out in any hives as far as I could see.
Yeah.
You know, I think she was just making shit up to be rude.
That would be crazy. That that's a biochemical amount of the gas hits you and you just break out in hives. What else does that happen with? I don't even, you know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I always thought redheads were allergic to everything. Racism. No. You can be racist against redheads. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I did not. I didn't know they were a protected group. But what were you saying? You were.
But anyway, so, you know, I'm I didn't feel like I had to do anything about it. It was really between, you know, her and my buddy. We'll call him, I'll just say his name, Terry. So so it was between her and Terry.
They're coming for you, Terry.
I know, right? I don't like all this fucking monitoring of everything. But anyway, I thought it was just going to be a little thing, and it's, you know, and I think Terry even apologized. You know, I think, oh, I'm sorry, you know, I didn't know it would have bothered you like that. Well, she kept talking shit about it.
Yeah.
You know, she kept bitching to the bartender.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, you know, thankfully we're pretty tight with the bartender. So.
Oh, okay.
And then she's bitching to other people, and
She's going around to the bar?
yeah, she's like working the room bitching about it.
Oh my God,
and thankfully it was a small crowd, a small little dive bar.
Right.
And so finally she comes out as, me and a couple of friends out there, and she starts throwing her shit at us. And I'm like
actually throwing stuff?
No, but throwing her her conversation, her negativity, her bitching, whatever at us. And one guy kind of doesn't know what to say to her. Nobody's looking at her, and finally I'm like, she's saying how weed's disrespecting the bar and all that. And finally I just look at her and I go, that would be true if it was like 2000, but it's 2023 and nobody gives a shit about weed. and she just turned around and went like this, raised her hands and walked away. And I was just kind of like,
But normally that's something that would have been a lot harder for you back a lot earlier. Okay. Yeah.
I just and then the situation kind of got to me. It's 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
You're fucking up the whole vibe. It's like, fuck you. It's like finally I'm just like, this girl needs to be handled.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like, it wasn't like she was just had an outburst and quit.
Yeah.
So
it was definitely at the point where you had to address it.
Yeah. And the cool part is she got banned from that bar. Yeah. Like the lady. She upset so many people that night.
Yeah, I was like, that's crazy to think that she thought that to think that everybody else would care. Like, what was the best case that she was expecting to everybody grab their torches and pitchforks and be like, yeah, motherfucker.
She just was miserable, man. It's like.
Was she already pretty lit by then?
Not really.
No.
She didn't seem. She was drinking, but she didn't seem drunk.
Yeah.
Like she was articulate.
Must have just been something else from the holidays, stressing around. And
who knows,
something.
man? It could be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, that's why, I try not to take things personally, man. That's like one of my spiritual tenets.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever read the 4 Agreements.
Is that that sounds really familiar. Which one is that one?
It's about 4 agreements that you make with yourself that'll help make you happier.
Oh, no, I think I've heard it before, but no, please share.
Don't take anything personally. And it's kind of like, guy's saying some pretty extreme stuff. Like he said, even if somebody took a gun and killed me, it's still not personal. And I'm like, that's wow, yeah, that's wacky, but
What's his, what's the reasoning behind that or whatever?
Because that's just that person's suffering. It has nothing to do with you. It's like their perception, their consciousness that they're wrestling with. Like, obviously that chick was miserable for some reason.
Right.
To start shit like that. She was trying to, maybe she was feeling neglected. I don't know, maybe so she wanted attention and decided to do it in a negative way. I don't know, but I'm like, it's not my problem. That's the other part of it.
Right.
Not my problem. You only can take care of your garden. You know what I mean? So your consciousness, and so that's the whole thing behind it. It's like, but it's not easy. Like,
no, it doesn't sound easy. Yeah.
Somebody goes, "Fuck you," and I'm like, "Don't take it personally." It's like, all right, I'm gonna walk away.
So what are the other 3?
Always do your best. Be impeccable with your word. Give me the 4th one. Come on. This always happens when people ask me 3 out of 4 things for some reason.
So was it don't take anything personal.
Oh, don't make assumptions is the 4th one.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, don't make assumptions. Don't take anything personally. Always do your best and be impeccable with your word.
Okay. That sounds pretty good.
So kind of like going back to what we were saying about being extroverted and introverted. Like being impeccable is saying you just feel certain ways certain times. It's like it's like, I don't know, it's a self-affirming kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's something that I've had to kind of learn about myself recently in the last few years is like, I discovered, it was actually funny, I told my friend, I had this big ass epiphany. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I think I'm a fucking people pleaser. And he was like, "You fucking think?" And I was like, "Oh my God." He was like, "Yeah, a big surprise, buddy." And I was like, "Oh shit, like apparently this is something that is not difficult for other people to perceive." And so, you know, making that connection too, I realized like if I don't vouch for myself in those ways, you know, if you like you said, if you don't kind of take those steps to, I forget how you worded it, but basically it kind of gives you that well of power within yourself to draw from, because it's like, you know, you have healthy boundaries with what you're willing to do and not do, and you know, it's people will take advantage of that sometimes, you know, if they see that you're willing to
for sure
go beyond your boundaries and stuff.
Yeah, you know, like they call being I never saw you as a doormat, by the way, but they say I say that.
That's good.
I appreciated those rides, man. You used to give me rides, and that was cool.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, helping people is cool, but I totally get what you're saying. I mean, it's like, you know, especially I had a lot of years in IT help desk and customer service, man, and that, you get abused.
Yeah.
It's like you have to learn psychological warfare.
Yeah, for real. You're right, man. Because it's like if you don't find some semblance of power in the role, you're just gonna get abused and talked down to and demeaned all day, and just you have to find some way to take your power back in a way from people like that.
Yeah, you know, it's like all right, I'll share another story. We're talking stories.
Yeah.
Just like on the mental side of it, you know, just talking on the phone, I remember I was in help desk, and you'd get some people who would ask for things that were out of scope.
Right.
You know, they always said that's just something we don't do. It's borderline maybe illegal, who knows, you know. So one lady's trying to get this software that's not company approved, and could be dangerous, who knows, and she's trying to get it. And I'm like, you know, I'm trying to nicely say it's out of scope. She keeps pushing. And so I'm like, so like if you're at home and you want to get some software, what do you want to do? What do you do? And she says, I download from the internet. I go, there you go. Is there anything else I can help you with? And she's like, yeah, I can almost hear it in her voice. You know, just like, and I was like, you know, I'm just like, you know, if I assist her and they're listening to me,
you're screwed.
Yeah. It's like,
on the flip side of that, I like when I'm talking with people that are like helping me with my taxes or just like fees, or, you know, if I've had to pay back bills or something, and it's like they kind of do the opposite, where they're like, well, I'm not telling you to go to this website, go to this and call this person and do this. But if you did that, it would probably be really good for you, and it would do this. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, thanks. I mean, I would like if. But
I'm not condoning that at all.
It's like, oh well, what do I call you guys for? You know, it's like you don't pick up on it at all.
Yeah. Well, you know, on the flip side, man, it's like, do you find that you're able to talk to like customer service people and get more out of them and have a more pleasant conversation because you're nice, because you've been treated shitty?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's literally it. Like, and it's I can't say that I have never like lost my cool over the phone, because I have. But
I have too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it can be frustrating because one, you're already probably spending like 10 minutes wading through some broken AI teleprompt thing, and it doesn't hear you or whatever. Then you finally get to somebody, and then you get transferred 3 or 4 times, and then, you know, they're telling you all the same things, and you're telling them all the same things that they're asking. And like, for example, I had some situation with my internet one time, and like I know for a fact that somebody told me like, you won't be charged for this, you won't be charged for that. And then, of course, I got the bill. It's huge.
Oh.
And I think I went back and forth with them for like 3 or 4 months, and they had to pull the call. And they were like, yeah, I guess so. We saw that we actually did make that expectation. I was like, yeah, I know I'm not freaking crazy. And it's like they were just trying to stonewall me the whole time. And so it's like, in situations like that, you have to kind of get a little aggressive, but you still have to, it's a line to toe with also treating that person with respect and stuff too, you know, like regardless of your anger, it's still somebody on the other line. And
yeah, it's not them, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you know, it's not them trying to do that stuff to you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
They don't get a bonus for you paying extra on your bills. So
Yeah.
but
You
yeah.
screwed a bunch of people over this month. Here's an extra 500.
Frontier, is that you?
Yeah.
Tommy Ridham, commercial voiceover.
You can earn rewards to reinvest in you. Don't take chances. Take charge with American Express. Passion. It drives us. Pushes us not to be good, but great. It's who we are, how we live. GMC. We are professional grade. From beach bags to flip-flops, you can create almost anything with Duck Brand duct tape. Over 20 prints and colors make the possibilities endless. Duct tape. Get the duck to do it. Sometimes a man must venture out of the shallow end to find something truly worthy of his search. Inspired by 300 years of tradition. Kettle One. Gentlemen, this is vodka. Drink responsibly. Deals in DFW, brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Go to dealsindfw.com and get 50 to 90% off regular prices at restaurants, spas, events, and other local goodies. Don't miss out. Cocaine remains one of the most commonly abused drugs in America. Narconon Arrowhead helps individuals seeking treatment for cocaine addiction through effective, drug-free rehabilitation and education. Options House delivers superior functionality for one flat rate, no matter how big your trade. Log on today at optionshouse.com. Options involve risk and are not suitable for all investors. This has been your Technology Minute with Tommy Ridham. Thanks for listening.
You must be a calm, assertive pack leader.
Hey, has anybody seen my Slinky?
I think you left it in the multifunction fax copier scanner.
Did you ever take honeycomb straight from the hive? The stings make it all the more sweet. I am going to need bigger pantaloons.
Get out of the street, silly.
Riding horses never felt this good. Take a left at the water tower.
Of course it's a multi-point 28-bit encryption key with a rotating cipher. And I wrote it in Vulkan.
Hey, yous, knock off that racket. Go get me another soda.
I heard some things. I heard many, many things.
Hey, I ain't squeaking. I ain't looking for trouble.
Slip me a few fazools for my trouble.
2 pounds of hammock should do the trick. I'm expressing the modality of the principality, my brother.
It's creatine mixed with branched chain aminos. I'm benching 400 pounds. Yeah.
Honey, have you seen my toothbrush?
I appreciate your sincerity.
But you what is it called? You introduced me a lot to voice acting for one, and you gave me. I remember like on our talks when I would be driving you back, we would be. You tell me you gave me appreciation for drumming too. Like I didn't really even. I would hear the drums obviously and hear the beat and stuff, but I remember you gave me a much better appreciation for like drumming and stuff. So I know you said that we got a little bit into your past with like the band and everything, but you said you did voice acting for a while, right?
I did. I tried that. It really is a total entrepreneur job. It's not just you're doing voices. It's like you're your own manager, networker, promoter, all that stuff, you know, just like a photographer. It's like it's the same process. You got to get a following, Instagram, you have to
You got to get a following before anybody wants to work with you?
It sure does help. That's how she does it. That's all she does. She doesn't even drive.
Snap. Okay.
Yeah,
dang.
it's like she makes enough money to order her food and
that's sick.
She's good too. I've heard her stuff, and she'll do adult voicing. It's she's like, oh yeah, it's so hot. It's hilarious, man. She's a professional.
Yeah,
and it was one of those ironic things, man. When she moved in, I was here first, so she moved in and she told me she's a voice actress, and I tried my hand at it and kind of gave up on it. I kind of.
Sorry.
Right?
Swallowed wrong. Ooh, my bad. Go ahead.
All right. So, so she moved in. I thought, man, it's like kind of a universal sign or something, like saying, what the fuck? A voice actress moves next door to me, you know? And I was trying to do it too, and it just helped me to learn how much goes into it other than just being a talented voice actor. You know what I mean? You have to network and politic and all that stuff, you know. So, and it's like, I'd rather just have my job and, you know, be able to save money and have plans, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, and
that stability and everything.
Yeah. You know, I mean, because I've tried it, and it's like stressful. You know,
what did I mean? Just getting like starting this, I've kind of gotten a peek, a little glimpse into the world of voice acting, and realized just, you know, just trying to do my first intro, and like, you know, just doing a little take. I was like, man, this is like actually really hard, with or without a script. I tried making my own script.
Yeah.
And it was hard just following along. I kept wanting to make changes. I'm like, dude, I can't imagine doing a whole movie or a show or something. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, I had a lot more respect for the craft after that, for sure.
That's true, you know, like there's, you know, you think it's just a guy speaking or a guy or a girl speaking, but you know, it's a true art.
Yeah.
You know, it's true like acting. You know.
What what kind of stuff have you done in the past? Like, what kind of characters, or do you have anything?
I got silly characters, you know. I got stuff from Goofy Voices we embedded in my childhood. My mom used to do voices. She used to do like Curly and shit.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, you know, from the and so I started doing it. You know, and you know, I came up with some iconic movie stars like Arnold, so it's like, you know, it's like, you know, everybody tries to do that voice,
right?
And then just, I took a class, you know, that guy was like kind of having a private class and a little, like an adult type learning center, and I was like, yeah, maybe I can do this, you know, because I was always doing voices, like, you know, the Goodfellas there.
Yeah.
You know, we used to have a keyboard player. His name was Jerry, and he was from Queens. And he was Italian. And he's like, hey, yo, over there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he would like write emails with the subject line, hey, oh.
Over there. Forget about it.
Yeah. And you know, and he would do stereotypical shit like we'd be out and we'd all order food and he'd get some vegetables. He's like, hey, can I get a side of marinara? And I was like, yeah, he was a character, man. So just, you know, me and my buds would be like, hey, Jerry over there.
Yeah.
And he didn't mind. He loved it.
What kind of stuff would he, like, what do you learn in a voice acting class? Essentially, like, do they actually teach
diction.
you how to, like,
like you learn little tricks to make your speech sharper. Like, so you'll say PBTKG.
Do you use that in your regular speaking? Because you're like incredibly articulate with it.
It's just, it's had to have made its mark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't practice it anymore, but it's had to have made its mark.
Right.
And then, what is it, like, Mimo, Mamo, Me, you take every consonant and then you add every vowel to it. So you'll say like Bibo, Babo, Bay, Siso, Saso, Say, you know, and do like that stuff. Or red leather, yellow leather.
Yeah,
I remember
I heard that one.
you know, like
Red, yellow, leather.
yeah. Or just like those little tongue twisters, and you just keep practicing them. But then it comes a point where you got to understand the emotion of it. Like you got to understand what emotion are they asking for? Can I do it? You know, like, can I really get to this right place? So, you know, I had like, you hear the really good ones and stuff. Like even animated movies like How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
You know, those guys aren't just voice actors, you know, they're all pro actors, and it's like they do incredible jobs.
Right.
So it's not just speaking, you know what I mean? It's a whole performance.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like pretty much just short of facial presentation when it comes to acting, like all the different pieces and stuff like that come into it. And if anything, you have to sell it more because they can't see your face and they can't see the emotions on your, you know, on your face. So you have to really sell it with your voice and everything. And get those trembles and everything like that. Yeah.
Very much true. And like your mouth often actually moves more when you're doing voice work because you're trying to paint the imagination, I guess, so to say, speak. You're trying to really convey something strong so you can visualize what you're saying. So it's pretty fascinating work, man. I mean, like, if I could just get hired at a place and it's like, we're gonna have you do voice work all day, I'll be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I would and you'll get paid a nice salary too. I'm like, absolutely, I'd do that. But do you want to run your whole entire business and do all this and this and this and this?
We might hire you.
It's like, and then there's so many jokes about how like directors don't know how to ask what they want, so they'll make up this bullshit and you have to wade through it. But knowing, like, the ability of knowing, like, I'm talking about reading another person's intent. Like I did a Jeep audition, and I don't think I was quite ready for it, didn't get it, but I think I understood the intent. And then I remember the ad came out later, and it was similar to what I was looking for, what I was coming at. I was like, cool. It was like Superman. He wanted Jeep, super manly,
okay.
You're running the trails, like, I mean, when you're like, you're out in the bush, you think of yourself out in the woods with camo on.
So you got to really have that whole, like, you gotta get in it. Okay, that's cool, man.
Well, dude, have you seen the movie Split?
Split.
Night Shyamalan?
Is that the one where he's like different personalities and he's like a serial killer or something?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I haven't seen it, but I wanted to see it.
I just watched it last night, man. I was like, man, like.
Oh yeah, because he's doing all those voices too, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, yeah.
But it's kind of like you go into spaces, to where it's like, I don't know, man. I could see how some of these stars are crazy, or like how Heath Ledger kind of lost himself or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened I don't know if he probably had some sort of problem beforehand, and then all of a sudden,
like, unlocked it or something.
The Joker just overdid the Joker and couldn't get back out of it or something. I don't really know. It was really strange.
Well, I mean, it kind of goes back to what we were saying at the beginning. It's almost like a manifestation kind of thing, or you can see how powerful throwing your entire, even if he is not the Joker, in a sense, he could have gotten closer to being him than anybody else has, the actual comic book person, or, what I mean, just the committing to that kind of performance, I guess, or, committing to that kind of like transformation of self, even if it's temporary.
Yeah.
That'll do it. That'll change you. I've seen interviews where people have, done a role and it's like changed who they. Oh yeah, please. They've done a role and it's like changed who they are in some way. Maybe not fundamentally, but it's added something to them.
Yep. Like I watched Black Mass, Johnny Depp, and he plays that real evil character, man. Whitey Bulger. It's based on a true story. It's about the Winter Hill Gang. Whitey Bulger.
I haven't seen anything about it.
Nasty dude. I mean, he got killed in prison, and I was like,
how old is it? The movie?
3-4 years old, something like that.
Okay.
Maybe 5. It's pretty recent. And first of all, he shaved his head like Whitey Bulger. He did the exact.
So it's based off a true story. I don't know who.
He did the exact. Let me restock this puppy.
Oh sure, thank you.
But he gets. Johnny Depp completely transformed into the character, and it was chilling.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. It's almost like a type of movie you don't want to watch before you go to bed.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's like, because, it's based on a real guy. That's what's creepy about it to me.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, man, he just terrorized that area, before he got caught. So, nasty dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like I want to say that I'll check it out, but like you said, like it seems like a little creepy.
If you got your wife with you, it's okay.
Yeah, right. I'll be brave for you. So like I was thinking that right when we were pulling up and you called, or when I called and you answered, and you did the little voicemail thing where I thought it was your voicemail. And I was like, damn, like that's really good. Like you should try even like, have you ever heard of like Fiverr, the app?
I've heard of it. I'm trying to remember.
And it's basically just like an app, and it's kind of like Craigslisty, but you never have to meet anybody. And so if you know how to do design or photography or voice acting, and I actually was on there not too long ago, and there's voice acting for like, there's people that just have regular kind of like gigs, nothing super crazy, but you can post different postings for like your voices that you're able to do, and it looks like they're getting like a pretty good amount of traction, like just normal people that are just doing like regular voice actors, but you can charge your own thing, and it's something you do on your own time, you know.
Yeah,
so you can still. Yeah,
I think I've seen that. That's musicians will charge different rates. And stuff, right?
Yeah, just musicians. Here, I actually still have the app, so I can show you real quick. This is called Fiverr. Okay. But you should definitely do it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if I want to get into it, you know, I'd of course buy the equipment, blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if I want to do that, but
I feel it. Yeah.
You know, I kind of got some other plans right now, but I miss creativity, man.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I miss like music and voice, you know, and stuff like that. You know, best I got right now is karaoke.
Yeah. What do you? I was gonna ask. So, what do you got in the works right now?
Well, let's see. My friend's got like a dirty comedy music duo.
Oh, okay.
Called These Nuts, and I wrote a dirty song for him. That's a parody of Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but it's called Everyone Watches Porn. I can even sing it on here for you if you want.
Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know if the kids are watching.
I don't know.
Well, what? Okay. So
that's right.
You're just
lying
like making,
in my bed, not sleeping in the dead of the night. So I gotta get up real early. Something just doesn't feel quite right. So I go downstairs and I check the doors, check the windows locked up tight, and I open up my laptop and I smile. And I guess that's why they say everyone watches porn.
Oh my god! So you wrote that as original?
Those are my lyrics.
Original Tommy Shields.
It's the thing to do when you're bored. All right, I'll sing the last part of the chorus and then I'll stop.
Okay.
So take your pants off and pull up red tube. Don't forget the lube. Don't forget it now. All right, that's it.
All right.
The audience dug it, you know. It was cool. Terry let me up, you know. He's like, you wrote it, you can sing it. And I was like, hell yeah. So and it's funny, he told his guitar player, who's like a veteran musician, real good. And he's like, you know, every rose has its thorn. And he goes, yes. You know, you don't want to pay it again? And he goes, yeah, well, Tommy's version is everyone watches porn. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah. He's like,
is there something new?
Yeah, he was like, it's a fun gig. They've probably only played 2 or 3 shows, but it's all like about the dirtiest songs you can imagine, dude.
What are they? So you've been like helping them just at the gigs or writing songs and stuff? Or?
Yeah, you know, I haven't done another one, but I've tried to do one with like, what is it? That song "Whip It" by Devo.
Oh.
You know, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't like that one. So I've submitted a few ideas that they didn't like, but they liked Everyone Watches Porn. So
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I still try to get my creative on from time to time, you know.
Nice.
But yeah, man. Like one of these days, I'm definitely going to get a drum set again and a practice room and one of those places that you can go 24 hours a day and put in a key code and practice at 4 a.m. if you so want to, you know.
You should get one of those there. What
Here you go, sir.
Oh, thank you. I like your cover there. Is that like a holder?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like some type of creator god. I saw it on Etsy. I was like, gotta buy it.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So, are you? I see the. Are you like a little more into like spirituality now since the last time I saw you, or is it?
I was always into it, but now I'm better at it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, that sounds like a huge brag, but I'm like, I work pretty hard, man.
Yeah.
I've like worked pretty hard at like just trying to use harmony to make my own life and the lives around me better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, and you know, it's like, I do have the ability to be a real dick. Like, you know, if I feel like,
Tommy, you?
Yeah, of course. Like, if I feel like you fucked me, or like when your story about the money the other day, or the other minute ago, I mean, what was that? They owed you $800 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
they're trying to charge me $800.
Yeah, and I was like, I was kind of feeling like a rabid dog, to be honest with you. I was just like, $800, I'll kill you.
I feel it.
I was like, that's a lot of money, man. You know, especially like that's, you know, a good chunk of my rent, you know, and all that stuff. And
no,
like,
man. I mean, I would think that you were just bullshitting and just like new agey if you were trying to put on like you didn't get mad like that. So
No.
you know, it makes you know that's yeah.
Those are called douchebags.
But is there any kind of like any sort of like sect or school of thought that you like particularly subscribe to or enjoy, or anything like that?
I have a few different things that I pull from. I've been reading, and fuck me if I pronounce it wrong, but Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu.
Yeah.
I've been reading that. I've read Buddhist stuff. I like some Christianity stuff. Not all of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Do
you know.
What in like Christianity, like you said stuff, so is it besides the Bible? Like other like texts and stuff?
And like, I've liked Proverbs. Proverbs are cool. I've read parts of John.
Well, I mean, like, did you read? Are you saying like there's other stuff?
Christian writers like C.S. Lewis. He's got some good stuff.
Oh, okay.
He's got some like pretty amazing sayings.
Does he have more than? Are you talking about like the Narnia stuff, or is there more beyond that I'm?
No, I got a little book by him, and it was like super cheap, but I bought it, and it was about like kind of like the power of the Holy Spirit, you know, and it was a pretty powerful little book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was about like people giving up, you know, basically saying that a lot of people just are deciding to sulk, you know, like they're deciding to be difficult rather than accept God into their lives. And if they just give up that side of themselves, then they'll be free.
You got to tell me what do you remember what the book is called? I got to read that.
No, I had to throw it out.
Oh, okay. A little side eye. So what else you it sounded like you were still going with the
I like mind studies, dude. I
Mind?
like human mind science.
Oh, I thought you said MAYAN. I was like, oh man, okay, cool.
It's all about me here. But no, like mind science.
Yeah.
You know, there's neuro-linguistic programming.
Right.
There's these things I use called paraliminals, and say you want to get, say you want to break a habit, or say you want to start a new habit, or say you want to incorporate a belief into your subconscious, or say you want to just relax for 15 minutes. It's these tracks you put on, and it's like got music and like sounds, and one guy talking in one ear, same guy talking in another ear. and it's like they're geared to they feel like they're geared to different parts of your brain.
Yeah, I've heard about those.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've tried it. You've used them quite a bit?
A lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you like them?
They're good, but like sometimes if you're not ready for them, they can kind of fuck you up a little bit.
Yeah?
That's my experience with them.
Well, in what way would you say?
Well, okay. You see that program over there?
Yeah.
I follow her teachings a lot.
Okay.
And her class is called the Balanced Path to Mastery and Enlightenment. So when you do things too fast, you throw yourself out of balance. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you're really eager to grow, but if you do that, then you can get where it's hard to function.
What is that? I just want to kind of get what does that look like? Because I know I've experienced that, but I don't know how you articulate it. It's almost kind of like you have truths that you know, but there's so much gunk in the way that it's like it's like it's there, but it's inaccessible or something. Or like what's your experience with it?
You mean at a general level?
Yeah, like when you realize I guess you don't realize that you've kind of done that and gone too far until it's too late. But I guess what does that feel like in those moments when you've kind of
and you
jumped the gun as it were?
It's harder to sleep. Like you feel, okay, it's real easy to feel hot right now. You'll feel hotter. You just don't you're a little disorganized in the head. It's like, you might develop little fucking joint problems or something. If you go too far, you got to slow down at that point. It's like
so it's like physical stuff,
physical and mental stuff. Yeah, it's like it's the same way with like physical training. Like if I had to grab 50-pound kettlebells and try to do curls and try that for an hour, I'm gonna hurt myself.
You look like you could do it. Yeah. I got faith in you, man. You
appreciate that, man.
Pump them out.
That's my thing nowadays, dude. Like weightlifting is kind of a lifesaver for me.
Yeah, I've been needing to get into it, man. It's
If I don't do anything else, I try to mix other stuff in there besides weightlifting. But if I don't at least weightlift, I get just kind of. Just a little.
Just fucking bad mood, man.
Yeah, it's just but I don't know, man. It's like nowadays with like spiritual development, I'm kind of more like a little less is more. I'd have to say less is more.
Yeah.
Like it just seems to. I get home from work, and rather than listen to one of them tracks, I'll just read Reddit and Am I the Asshole? Which is my favorite new thread. Have you seen that one?
Dude, I actually, that's one thing that actually inspired me is they have a podcast. So
Am I the Asshole?
Yeah, no, it was, what was it? Just this guy reading Reddit, and he would have, it was different episodes. So some of them were like, Am I the Asshole? Some of them were, I don't know what other topics, but it was like 4 or 5 like real good Reddit topics, and they would just slam through like Reddit posts, like the top voted ones or whatever. That I was addicted to those for like a couple of weeks. That was me at work all day.
I swear, like, it seems like 50% of them are mother-in-law stuff, or sister-in-law, or brother-in-law, or in-law stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy how. Like the stuff on Reddit is nothing that's like thankfully like money and like money stuff involved and like
hey, you guys don't have kids? Could you watch my kids for 2 days?
Yeah, for real. Don't come back.
Am I the asshole for not wanting to watch their kids for 2 days? It's like, no, I don't want to watch some of these kids for 2 days.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like, and it always depends on the situation, but it's like once you actually hear the stories, you're like, oh, okay. Like you can, I mean, with your career experience, like you can kind of tell that some people are just kind of telling one side of the story. There's sometimes you can hear both sides.
Oh, they fool me plenty. I'll admit it, dude. Like sometimes I don't know what to think, and I go through the comments, but I'm just like, I'm kind of there more for the entertainment value. I've been thinking all day about fraud, so I'm kind of like, I just let.
Yeah.
One of the funniest I read, it was like, I think it was like, when you get related threads that come up, and this one was like, am I wrong? And this girl had one of those, posts about her boyfriend, and she was pretty young, like 21. Boyfriend's 22, and like, my boyfriend's been watching a lot of Sopranos and gangster movies, and now he won't stop talking like that all the time. And he's like, he's making up words that aren't Italian even. He's like, I need to go home and have a drippini. And she's like, what's a drippini? It's like, it's a shower.
It's a shower. I could have
Is this
swore
a
it would have
red
been a
flag?
drink.
That's what she says. I'm like, no, it sounds like he's just being a goofy kid.
No, and get out now.
Yeah, the gabagool.
Yeah, for real. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, that definitely sounds like a better alternative than blowing your head off with binaural beats all day after work.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, you got to balance with everything.
Yeah, that's true, man. I'm kind of like just, working things a little bit different these days than how I did before, because just trying to go so hard all day like we did at Frontier is really not sustainable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It isn't. It really isn't.
And
Especially because it's not even like even terms, like you could be busting your butt and just be getting nothing but IT service calls or stuff,
Yeah, it's not like I'm getting retirement money from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
It's like, you're just busting your balls for, I think my tax return was like 35 grand one year, and I was like, all these bonuses and shit? What's up with that?
And they tax the living mess out of all the bonuses and stuff. Like, what is it, 1/3? It's like 33%.
I couldn't tell you.
I guess one of the last things I want to kind of get into is like, with all of your life experience with that and like where you're at spiritually now, like, is there anything? There's one thing I want to do with the podcast is kind of give people a platform to voice, the kind of thing that like every celebrity that we see, they always have their charities or they make their speeches and stuff, and I want to give everybody the same kind of platform because I think everybody has like something important to say, or just things that you want to see more in the world or anything like that, and I think we kind of went over a lot of that kind of stuff today too.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But like, one little petty little thing that I want to see in the world, pick up your trash, people. Pick up your fucking trash.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that to the world, like, just pick up your trash. Don't throw it in the street. Don't throw it in the woods. Pick it up, please.
There's already enough trash in the landfills, so we can just at least keep it there,
Yeah.
We don't need it in the creeks.
And have you ever burned plastic, dude?
Yeah.
It takes 20 minutes or more. It's like you take 2 grocery bags from Tom Thumb or some shit, and why is this little mass of bags burning for fucking 20, 30 minutes? It's like, it's scary, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is what it is.
What do you think? It's hard because like it's like a bigger issue than just people using plastic bottles, because it's like, where are the plastic bottles coming from, and why is that the best way for us to get actual clean drinking water?
Right.
Instead of blaming the everyday person, but it's also like we can still do in our own lives. We can do our part. So.
Right, just don't be one of those dicks.
Yeah.
Like, who throws, trash on the road or trash in the woods or whatever. Just like, that would stop a lot of pollution right there.
Yeah.
I know trash blows around from dumpsters. It's not going to be 100%, but,
right.
It just would be nicer if people cared more about like that. Our planet, I suppose,
Yeah.
But man, there's so many things. If you want to be one of those people, you can like bitch about everything. I could bitch about the fact there are only 2 political parties. I could bitch about, okay, the Taylor Swift thing where she gave so much money to all her tour people. You probably heard about that, right?
I heard a little bit about it. Sarah, did you hear anything about it?
Well, she gave a lot of money, and it's very sweet and all that. But I'm like, why do we have to have an economy to where donations are necessary for people to survive?
Right.
We need to have it more taking care of everybody in ways, you know? And it's like, call me a socialist or whatnot.
I was like, where do you stand on the
you know,
political spectrum?
I would say I'm a moderate.
He's a fucking commie! No, yeah.
He's a commie, right?
Yeah.
You don't know I could commie here.
But no, I feel that.
So I just, would just like to see kind of more compassion for people. You know, like.
What do you think is like hindering people from being compassionate?
Money
nowadays. Money.
Just
more
like
competitive now, just because of how everything is.
I'm not an expert economist, so I'll qualify my statements that way. But it just seems like, rent goes up faster than salaries go up. Inflation has hit everybody kind of hard. Money is like a big problem for a lot of people. Like, I hear it online. I'm lucky right here. I still pay more than I think this is worth, but it's not as much as other people paying for something comparable.
Right.
So like, and I've got a fairly decent job. I don't make like total bank, but I make an acceptable wage.
Right.
But it's just not worth as much these days.
Yeah.
So, it seems like our system is really failing at like a soul level.
Yeah.
Like at a level you can't take care of your own people, man. That's like, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But I don't have the answers.
Right,
I'm not like that. I'm not like, well, if you did this and this and this, then everything would be great.
Where do you, just in your own mind, where's the happy medium between like total, communist socialist state or whatever, and like, total capitalism, dog eat dog monopoly, because the way capitalism's set up right now, it's like, it's not really truly free or whatever, because as we see, everything eventually will bottleneck up into monopolies, because by the nature of competition, one of them's got to lose.
Well, it's there are people out there who want it that way, unfortunately, and they have a lot of influence, and it's like, dude, the more common man, so to speak, needs to be able to feed himself and his family, and get health care and shit like that. I'm not saying give people TVs. I'm not saying,
Yeah.
I'm not saying give people luxuries, give them necessities. And then, they can learn to work or not.
Yeah.
It's like, I wish there was just some necessities for people. I don't know who would pay for it. You know what I mean?
I feel like we're already paying for a lot that we're not really reaping any benefits from, so.
All right, I'm going to get you arrested. You ready? I'm saying you cut out, 1/4 of the military budget, you could do that.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, there's so much money that's wasted, and I personally, I gotta say, like, I used to be a little more for going straight for like the military budget before, but I feel like now I'm like, okay, yeah, we probably need to actually keep it around where it's at. But that's only, I think the reason for that is only because I realize how much money is wasted in the swamp, and like just in lobbying and laundering and that kind of stuff, and not actually being used for roads and just simple stuff. Like, we're not putting the money, those movements are dying on the floor of those courthouses because nobody wants to, in those positions, nobody wants to give something that's or pass something that's going to help people or provide necessities like that from the government, because they're afraid that it's going to be socialist or communist or whatever. It's like weird taking care of people in politics now for some reason.
It's just, I don't know. It just says, I just don't get it. I don't know. I just don't get it how it can be considered acceptable.
Right.
However, I'm a regular Joe, you know what I mean? So,
But I guess back to that question, like, where do you see that medium being? Like
that medium.
Yeah.
Like
the
how
happy
can you
medium.
kind of make peace with the way the world is, in a way?
Yeah.
Well, I think I think as you learn to like work with yourself and work with how, you know, your thoughts and whatnot produce harmony, and you see it work in your own life, you kind of have a responsibility to just, you know, even if you're in a bad mood, you know, just not minimize your wanting to be a dick that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're like, okay, I feel like being a dick today because I'm grumpy, but all right, recognize it. So you're like, okay, I'm just gonna be quiet and work, you know, whatever. But to kind of be sort of strong and kind like that, and you're putting that out in the world. Like, I remember I helped this dude at work jump his car, and I could tell nobody was helping him. And he came out with, like, he was kind of walking real fast with jumper cables, and I was just like, it was one of those days I wasn't feeling that good myself, so I was like, all right, giving service to others makes you usually feel better. That's a common practice in certain disciplines. So I'm like, yeah, I'll help you, man. He didn't even have to ask me. I said, hey, man, you need to jump? You know, it's obvious. And he's like, yeah, man. You know, he's like, I guess he'd asked 2 or 3 people, and they said no. And I'm like, no?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? It'd take 10 minutes, you know what I mean? And I just pulled my car up to his, and we jumped it. No big deal. But it was just like that kindness you spread through a deed and the way you handled it made a change in the world somehow.
Right.
I don't know. And it's like, and then communities, man. like I'm not a big community guy, but you know, we all have our communities of friends and families and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a band. That shit gets more powerful when you get people together agreeing on healthy and good things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Everybody kind of shares the same values and stuff.
Yeah, it's like the positive aspect of the mob mentality.
Right.
Like it's like, like people getting together to do good, like, you know, magnifies that, just like a lynch mob gets really hateful.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
imagine the kind of good you could be if you were, you know, a positive lynch mob. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What does that look like? Are you like just planting trees?
Smile, motherfucker!
Yeah, for
real. A positive lynch mob. That's funny.
Maybe we can get one of those together one day.
50 smiles or someone's gonna die.
Yeah, for real.
The positive lynch mob.
All right, man. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It was fun. Are we winding down?
Yeah. We're pretty much good. I'll probably even like go cut it even earlier. But is this our Bite Me lighter? Or is that yours?
That's yours.
Okay, I thought so, but
yeah,
they're kind of popular, I guess. So
I was gonna say, I like how you using your lighters as like.
Yeah, I saw that when I was leaving too. I was like, dang.
I was like, you got red and green over there, you know, like kind of like decorating yourself. It's cool.
Badass. That's pretty cool. Like an anime character or something. Oh yeah, what animes have you were you getting into?
It was a show I was watching over at her house. It was an indie show, but it looks really great. It's really top notch, actually. It's about these assassin company in hell.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, they're in hell, and what they do is like these souls who were killed say, I want you to go back to Earth and kill my killer.
Oh,
that's like their main specialty.
Okay, I was like, they're assassinating people in hell,
and they're all super fucking rude to each other. You know? Yeah, and they got good characters, and it's I'll get the name sometime. I'll text it to you. I got your number now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Apparently I already had your save still too. Your number saved.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so I watched it the other day. I was like, this is really good. I wouldn't mind watching some more, but it's more fun to watch with people. You know?
All right. Oh, cool. Oh, one more thing before I forget. Do you have anything that you want to plug or anything? Like, I don't know if you have anything, or even that you want to bring attention to. Hey, this is a great time to get your Fiverr thing going right off the bat. If you want to, have people hire you for.
If you want me to voice something, call Chris, because I have no shit set up at all.
That sounds good. I got
so call Chris, and then we'll set up something, and I'll go, hey, motherfucker, I'll do a job for you.
There you go.
Yeah, so there's my plug. It's not very good, but
Well, there you have it, everyone. Tommy Shields. Tommy, thank you so much for your warm hospitality. And if there's anything that you want to send people, I'll make sure to put it in the description. But other than that, I want to thank you all for listening. You make this podcast what it is because everyone's a celebrity. Have a great day.